Okay, looks like we're recording here. So this is Aaron Bakken with RegenVet. I wanted to introduce today Vasil Yordanov and Dr. Jim Waldsmith, and they were just going to run over a case for us that they've done. And yeah, why don't you gentlemen take it away?
Okay. Well, the one case that we've really been pleased with is an upper level 3-day event horse that was getting the best of care and the benefit of being conditioned on a high-speed treadmill and trained in good footing and, everything we could do for him. And he just still wasn't perfect. He wasn't overtly lame, but just not perfect and not perfect behind. And so when we had the opportunity to use the Apex PRP kit, we put it in the stifle joint because that's where we thought he was weak. And within about a week and a half or so.
Yeah, give or take about 10 days.
Yeah.
7 to 10 days.
The owner just said, what have you done? This is a brand new horse. What are we going to do here? Because this has to keep going. And so we were encouraged by all that. And then we found after about 6 weeks, the performance began to diminish again. And so he got a subsequent injection about a week and a half ago.
Oh, he hasn't had that one yet.
Oh, he hasn't? So we're still on the first one.
So we're still on the first one.
Okay. So that's where we're headed next. And with this one, we'll get the before. He's better now than he was before his first PRP injection, but there's been a decline. So we'll document before we treat him this time, and then we'll come back in a week or so and document afterwards. And that'll be the only thing we do. So there'll be no other variables in the treatment or anything else. The horse is still in regular work. He's still, everything else is constant. So we're very interested in that. Having said that, because we really don't know why there is pain in his stifle. I mean, on ultrasound, there's some tears in the meniscus, but we don't know if that's what hurts or not. We know that's not normal on the ultrasound. His radiographs are pretty much normal, but the difference was profound in his performance. And so we're really curious in a way, why is the platelet-rich plasma helping him so much? And or why had he had PRP before in that joint?
No.
So
he hasn't had any PRP done on him.
We've used other PRP kits on horses that don't have the concentrating ability that the Apex system does. And although we always had favorable results, we just haven't had this kind of a profound response. So we're kind of curious as to why that's happening. The other thing that we're really interested in, and I'd like to hear from you a bit more about, is the alpha-2 macroglobulin. It appears from my reading and in my communications with other well-regarded veterinarians that this is the next big thing. And so I'm curious what your thoughts are about that. And then the next logical thing is, do you use them together? Do you use one first and then the other? If so, which one first? What time limit or time interval between the treatments? But based on what we're seeing, and of course we had really good response we only tried it in one case, but we had a really good response with the bone marrow cells that we used as well. We're kind of looking for some ideas about how this stuff plays together, works together. If it's in conflict with each other, is that a possibility? I can't imagine that it would be, but we'd be interested in knowing that. So those are kind of my questions for you.
While we have you here, could you give a brief summary of what you saw on the stem cell case that you injected, Dr. Yordanov?
That was really substantial. We had a horse who, on ultrasound exam, his deep digital flexor tendon had essentially disappeared.
So complete tear.
Wow.
Almost.
And now he's not perfect, but he has a tendon back.
Okay.
We didn't think that was we didn't think it was possible. He was a disaster case. And so, but he's walking reasonably comfortably now. And
he's not on any butte currently. So what we're seeing is he is more comfortable than currently without any medication. He's more comfortable than he was before the procedure with strong pain medication on.
Excellent.
So,
yeah.
he has a substantial,
And that's been 8 weeks-ish?
No.
We deal with 2 months or so?
Well, when did you?
Could be.
Whenever you,
I think you guys came in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was back in March.
March. So we stopped the medication.
So 3.
About the end of March, so mid-April maybe. And
Okay.
since then he's been on his own basically.
Okay, wonderful. So Dr. Waldsmith, you were asking about the A2M, the cytokine concentration. We recently have been diving in really deep into that. Our PhD is, I'm going to read off what he has written about it. So stem cells include mesenchymal stem cells. You only get them with bone marrow concentrate. Platelets, PRP or BMC. IRAP, much higher in BMC and can be multiplied above baseline levels for PRP or BMC with a plasma filter. A2M can be multiplied with a plasma filter. So basically he's putting this together and he uses the word Rolls Royce equals BMC plus concentrated plasma from the BMC, not from blood. Then you get everything we're talking about, the gold standard. The Cadillac would be BMC and a good amount of IRAP, but not a baseline concentration of cytokines. The Lexus would be PRP plus concentrated plasma to increase the cytokines for A2M and IRAP. And those levels should be 4 to 6 times concentration. So you're getting both A2M and IRAP in that injection. And then the Toyota is just the standard PRP. Of course, we get great results with highly concentrated PRP all the time, but for joint disease specifically, adding the A2M and also IRAP both will inhibit the multi-purpose protease inhibitors, the chemicals that destroy proteins that cause arthritis. So the IRAP in BMA is 20 times higher than in PRP. So concentrating platelet poor plasma from blood, you may get 3 to 5 times concentration. He's talking specifically about IRAP. Concentrating platelet poor plasma from bone marrow concentrate, you may get 60 times more out of that. So we're really leaning hard into that. We haven't had a BMC plus protein concentrate kit until now. We actually are putting that together right now as we speak. So the sequencing question that you asked, I think is a really good one. Do we use PRP or do we use PRP with the protein concentrate for joint disease? Do we use stem cell to get a little bit more, or do we do the stem cell with everything? And I know it probably depends on the condition. And again, I do know that IRAP is used outside of just joint disease, but in the human world, the A2M cytokine is really almost exclusively used for joint disease and stopping the progression of arthritis. So,
okay. And you kind of have to bear with us because you guys are talking in your lingo of the industry and we don't know it all. So when you say cytokines and A2M, those are the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody's looking for the easy button, right? So but no one's afraid to do a jugular stick and collect blood.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm just thinking, if I were in your shoes and I was trying to hit volume or scale, we're happy to poke into a sternum and pull that stuff. But I bet you if you went in our whole county, and there's about 20 veterinarians, I would say maybe us and one other would do that, and nobody else would do it. They would refer it out. So, but you know, if you make this so that somebody that's running up and down the road in a pickup truck can produce these kind of results, then that would be a strong positive for you. And yes, there's the pickup truck analogy breaks down because you need with the A2M, you need the pump, and with everything else, you need a centrifuge and those types of things. But I would still be looking for a way, the easiest way it can be done for someone that works in a pickup truck, because if you win that battle, you get the rest of the industry at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's
and I think the easy factor is in play here too. I mean, I only recently realized that you could get those types of levels of IRAP out of BMAC, and so bone marrow aspirate. So we're excited to add it on. You know, simply you've kind of got your good, better, best thing going on, and it is more difficult. So if you just want to do PRP, you've got that. If you want to add in the protein concentrate, as a, you know, for anyone who may be watching the video, when you're doing that, you're getting a PRP injection and then a secondary protein concentrate injection that's coming from the platelet poor plasma you would normally dispose of. So you're basically getting 2 injections out of 1 blood draw, and the same thing, you've got your stem cell and then your stem cell plus protein concentrate. So yeah, I like it, because if somebody is only comfortable doing the blood draws and PRP, start there. And the protein concentrate kind of adds this added layer for joint disease, and it's a 2-minute process once you have your platelet poor plasma already set aside. So anyway, but I'll definitely get you guys more info on that as we're developing. I actually worked on some pieces today, educational stuff just today.
Okay. That. Well, we're wrestling with that. I mean, we're real enthusiastic. I don't want to sound like I'm being a downer about it, but that's what we're wrestling with. The other advantage of what you called cytokine and I'm calling A2M is you get a lot of it and you can freeze it and use it later.
Yeah. Yes.
And that is, in my opinion, that's a really big deal. Because if it works, yeah, you have one kind of big expense, but then down the road, you're just thawing out what you already had and getting, you know, a year or more maybe of use out of it. Because all these things, the front end expense is pretty significant. But the cytokine or A2M solution gives you an ongoing benefit from that single collection process that you don't get from the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do. So am I correct in my understanding that you do have an A2M product which is in the works right now? So it's
no, it's done. We've on the human side, we've had it for I don't know how long, a couple of years. Okay. And so there's a recent discovery, because on the human side, nobody's talking about IRAP. Everyone's talking about A2M. So we called it A2M. In the vet world, everyone calls it IRAP. And bottom line is that concentration process, especially when it's from blood, gives you both A2M concentrated and IRAP. So and they're both cytokines, but just, you know, small proteins.
I see. Okay.
That do kind of the same thing. So they're both beneficial. They're a little bit different, but they are fairly similar in their mechanism of action and how they destroy the proteins that can cause arthritis. So
the way it was explained to me, though, is that IRAP is just doing the interleukin 1 or interleukin 2, whereas the A2M is kind of a sponge that's picking up quite a variety.
All the others.
Well, the marketing says all the others. So
our PhD would prefer to have both of them. There are some products that are sheerly IRAP that are, I'm going to say, culture and expand. I might be representing that just a little bit, but they're basically taking the plasma and creating more IRAP out of it. Now, just our baseline concentration from blood won't have as much IRAP as that type of process, but it's also going to have A2M. And so Dr. Murphy said you're probably having a superior product having the A2M and IRAP in the same injection, instead of just trying to culture and expand IRAP alone.
Yeah, well, I guess my opinion is the IRAP ship has sailed if the A2M is doing everything that it says it does. But to have them both together certainly wouldn't be a negative. And if it's a leverage point that people that like IRAP and believe in it would then move towards your product because it's IRAP and more, then I think that's a positive as well.
So we don't really expand and explore IRAP very much. It's our old A2M piece. It really talks more about the A2M because that's, I think, where the education is needed, just because there is already a level of familiarity with the IRAP. So,
Okay. Well, it's certainly exciting stuff.
Yeah.
We're trying to learn more. We'll get these case studies put together for you, and we apologize. It's just, knock wood, we've been fortunate. Other practices have slowed down, and I don't know if people are just sitting at home watching their horses and wondering what the hell is going on and calling the vet. But for us, it's been a good thing. And I don't know if we told you, but we've been using, I think I told you, we've been using PRP and mare's uteruses for breeding.
Yes, you showed me that study. Have you actually, from Wisconsin Equine, have you guys actually done that?
Yeah, we were actually started doing it last year, but we've seen some really wonderful things. And we're happy for the wonderful things. We just don't really know what we did. And so anyway, this is just a fascinating time with these biologic and regenerative medicine tools, but we're kind of sticking them everywhere. But we've gotten some mare's bred we weren't able to get bred otherwise.
Yeah. Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, it's 35 minutes. You guys have any other pieces of information, nuggets you'd like to share? Otherwise, I can probably wrap it up.
No, we owe you some nuggets, so we will let you know as soon as we have that.
All right, appreciate it. If you guys need anything, just let us know.
Sounds good.
Thanks very much.
You bet. Have a wonderful day.
You
too.